You are all wonderful people. I believe in all of you, and you're doing incredibly. My labor is currently being exploited, and I've been told to talk to you all while Vosush is using the restroom. What's going down? Do Subnautica. How about we do your mom? You ever think about that? Has that ever crossed your tiny little mind? The great replacement. True. When it comes to me replacing Vaush on this stream, yes. All right. Sounds like Azad. Yes, Hassan is also here. Would you like to say hello, Hassan?
Skedaddle.
He said fuck you all, and he's having a great time in his $1 million mansion.
Hey dudes, it's me, Hassan. What the fuck, dude?
That is the worst Hassan impression, but mine's not going to be any better. So.
Probably not. We're just testing PC stability. As you guys know, we blue screened of death last time. The reason for that is that new computers often just have, they're a little finagling. So I think it was a memory issue. White Nervosa had me go into the BIOS and make some edits to the RAM speed and the voltage going to it. I feel like the voltage going to it was too low. We brought it from 1.92 to 1.35, which is a significant. I mean, that's like over a 10% increase in voltage. So yeah, we're just trying that out. I'm not gonna have the mic on. Like I'm just gonna chill. You're still free to give me money though. I'm totally okay with that actually. So I still have the alerts on. There might even be text to speech on. I don't know. Right. Meow. Meow. All right. Alright, I'll talk for a bit. Just a bit, though. So far, stability seems fine. I was noticing a couple of reliability hiccups when I streamed last time. I didn't, I didn't know if they would make it. Oh, no, you want me to be quiet? Okay, never mind. This isn't even gameplay footage. This is just live footage of me getting ready to blow up the other Nord Stream pipeline. Those are VDV soldiers who got paratroopers who got dropped by Russian helicopters into the water. I just want to keep the Ukraine war going so I have more content. Yes, Dutch boy from Brabant. I saw your comment. For a more serious explanation of this game, it's called Northern Journey. It's actually quite excellent, in my opinion. It's a passion project made by a single person. It's very weird and awkward in all the beautiful ways that are sort of a product of one person's eccentricities. It feels very much like the personal project that it is, which is quite fun. Considering that I'm also working on a personal project, it feels apropos that I try to learn something from this. And I feel I already have. I'm enjoying it a lot. This is one developer. It's all a bunch of weird stuff. And I like that. I've legitimately enjoyed my time with this game more than I have much more polished games. Also, it's quite long. I've been playing it for 12 hours, and I get the feeling I'm, like, maybe halfway through. Like, it's quite a journey. Anyway, I recommend it for those of you who haven't played it. It's not usually this spooky if you have an aversion to frights. Though it is generally unnerving. I'm just wandering around here. I'm quite lost, aren't I? We're trying to find... Oh my god. A message in a bottle that's been weighed down with a rock. This dial on the left side of the bathysphere. I don't know what it does or indicates. It doesn't seem to show depth or direction. It's not a compass. I don't really know. This place is massive. would make sense that you follow the pipeline since it's been leading us to that point, but the pipeline stops down there. Hey. Jesus. Jesus. Fucking rough out here. Oh. Is this? Whoa! Oh my god. Jesus. Well, I think we're fucking dead. Unless this is a scripted thing. I think... Oh, God. Oh no, there's items down here. We're meant to be this far down. That's so cool. That pipeline was just a diversion. It led us the complete opposite of the right way. We were just supposed to stumble into a hole. Okay, so it does, you're right, it does show depth. Yeah, because it's off the meter now. We're way too deep. Huh? Health or eyes? Or bones? Giant bones. We've sprung a leak. Oh, shit. Hey. Oh god, we're going deeper? There's no way. Oh, that orange up there is a power-up. Oh god. That orange up there is a power... Oh god, oh god, oh god. It's a permanent upgrade. I'm a completionist. I need it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Is the orange glow? No, don't kill me. Please. Where'd it go? The one. I have completionist brain rot. Was it even real? Did I dream it? Oh. We have to go even deeper. Oh my god. Hey. Help. Fuck off. I think one of the things that I'm realizing with this project is that there's actually an advantage to sloppiness in game design. I've always felt like very refined mechanics are generally better, but something that's pleasant about sloppiness in design is that because it's not well refined, you don't actually know the boundaries. If a system is well refined, you have a sort of intuitive knowledge of what to expect from it, basically. You know? Like, if everything goes by in sort of the textbook fashion, you're like, oh, here's a thing, here's a mechanic, here's an enemy or whatever, this is how it will work, you know, this is what to expect. But there's so much more ambiguity, there we go, and uncertainty added with the lack of polish that it actually contributes a lot to the tension. Yes, please, let me out. Oh my fucking god. Let me out. Too refined equals predictable? I mean, yeah, it can to an extent, right? Like a good example would be level layout, right? Oh boy. Oh god, we're gonna see something like spooky on the way up because it's in the void. I hate this. We're gonna see the fucking octopus again. It's gonna fucking... Oh my fucking god. This marsh one's so deep. like level design would be a good thing, or a good example, because like with quote unquote refined levels in like AAA games or whatever, you kind of always know what's gonna happen, right? Like when you're playing a AAA game of basically any genre, you know what I mean? You can usually kind of predict how the level's going to go down, just because you've played a lot of games before. You know? Like, play an Assassin's Creed game, play Call of Duty, play any of that. It's like, oh yeah, I know how this will go down. Like, yeah, like how you can go into an area and immediately tell it's a boss arena. Yeah, I really, really, really hate that. I really hate that, yeah. It's really annoying because sometimes, like, it's way more fun when it just fucking happens. Dark Souls gets a lot of credit for avoiding this. Sometimes in Dark Souls it's kind of obvious how everything's laid out, but sometimes it defies tradition in a lot of ways. Like, for example, the Black Knights in Dark Souls 1, like being little mini bosses that you see pretty much right the fuck away. I'm trying to think of a good example of like a AAA game that I've played where like when I played it, the moment I started playing it, it was like, okay, I know everything that's gonna happen in this game. I'm like Neo looking at the Matrix. Like it's just code. Yeah. Like the From Software games they tend not to explain that much to you, which can help alleviate that feeling of like, oh, I've seen it before, you know. Oh, Adam plays. Adam from YMS just rated on such a strange stream of mine too. Thank you very much. I don't know if he checked what I was doing, but to the viewers who just came over from Adam's stream, hi. I'm just testing PC stability. I got a new PC recently, and I had a couple of crashes, so I'm just playing around to see if it goes well, and so far it is. So it says no mic, but obviously I can't help myself, so here I am. Have you beaten Pathologic? Yeah. And Pathologic, like, Pathologic never adheres to expectations. Like, ever. That's one of the things that makes it good. In Pathologic 1, on the second day, all food prices rise. Which is incredible. Like, every time you try to get a feel... Every time you try to get a feel for how the game is going to play and what you can do to game the system, it just fucks you. It does not let you do that. I'm trying to think of, like, the last big AAA game that I've played where I got that feeling from. I tend not to play those games, so... Maybe it's easier to talk about ways in which games have kind of, like, deviated from that. Like, the game I'm playing now is an example, but I'm trying to think of another popular game that does this. That just sort of, like... Wish I had a better mind for this sort of thing. Oh, okay. So, like, I'm gonna talk about Dark Souls again. The biggest way that Dark Souls does Dark Souls does this in a lot of ways. But one of the biggest ones in Dark Souls 1, the first, like, you fight the Asylum Demon right away, right? Like the first thing you do as the chosen undead in the Undead Asylum is you wake up and then the Asylum Demon plops down and gives you a deep dicking, unless you know to run or hide or you have played the game before and you can use your broken sword or whatever to beat him. And the immediate thought a lot of people have is like, oh, this is like an unbeatable enemy. Okay, so I've been like shown that I respawn by being placed up against an unbeatable enemy. But no, once you do the lap through Undead Asylum, you get your weapons, and no, you do have to beat the Asylum Demon. That's not actually that's not actually optional. You actually have to do that. Which is great. I love that. Yeah. Fuck, I need some more esoteric shit. I'm running around here because I'm trying to see if I can gather any ammo. I'm kind of low on it. There's some arrows. There you go. Paratropic. Oh yeah, Cross Crescent Creed, but that's like there's barely even like a game to like nothing in there even adheres to general. I don't know. I gotta regain my stores of shit. I also have to go find the music players because they can play this musical note. Oh, another big memory that people have in Elden Ring, I think, that kind of speaks to this weirdness, you know, is that in most games that have an open world, they will like brag about the size of their open world right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like in Breath of the Wild, it's like, here's your world, look at how big it is. Whereas Elden Ring deliberately hides the size of its map. Like constantly, you're constantly discovering more and more and more of it, you know? Because there's usually an expectation for these studios to put their budget up front. Like, yeah, you're going to spend a lot of money on this giant map. Like, you want to impress people right away. You don't want them to get bored, do you? But From Software was confident enough to think like, no, if they're playing this game, like, I would rather like continue to astound them with the you know, with the size of the map than to like show it all off right away and lose the ability to astonish them again in the future. Or the first time you travel down into the underground. Subverting expectations is good, but it has to be intentional, right? G Squidman, this is what I mean. Not necessarily, because this game is really fucking weird, and I like it a lot for that. Because I don't know what's going to happen next, you know? I like that a lot. I don't know narratively or aesthetically or mechanically what I'm going to be asked to do next, and I kind of appreciate that. As somebody who's played so many games in my life, you know, I value the novelty of getting to experience, like, an auteur developer's just, you know, what's going on in their head. Even if it doesn't abide by... It makes me want to do some more esoteric shit, you know? It makes me want to think, like, you know, what if you use some weirder mechanics? In Dark Souls, the basilisks, an oft-hated enemy that I actually like a lot, can curse you. In Dark Souls 1, you can go down into the depths and hit, like, a basilisk can curse you. And not only does it kill you, it permanently halves your health until you can find, like, a rare and specific item. Cure yourself. Curing yourself of the curse in Dark Souls 1 can be like an hour-long journey. It's quite memorable. I remember the time I got fucked by that. Even if it's kind of a pain in the ass. I don't know. I kind of appreciate that. You wouldn't expect a mechanic to be that punishing. Very forgiving with the fall damage here. Pardon me. He snored. Well, hopefully some of you understand what I'm saying. There is value in novelty, especially when you're so experienced. It's kind of like, I've gotten a lot of blowjobs in my life, you know? Some good, some great, some not so great. And if I hooked up with a chick who would, like, put my dick in her mouth and then kind of, like, tilt her head back and forth to try to, like, rotate her mouth over my dick, like that sex toy that keeps getting pushed in viral Twitter replies, where it's like the sloppy spinny thing that you've all seen on Twitter because, like, a tweet will go viral and the company will DM person to say, like, hey, tweet this blurb, and it's like, put the sloppy toppy on your floppy woppy, and they're like, okay, that, and anyway, like, if that happened, if the chick did that to my, you know, I don't think it would feel that good, but I don't know, I might appreciate that the novelty more than if it was like a totally normal blowjob that felt like a little bit better, you know? God damn it. Oh, maybe we'll live. Maybe. Okay, which of these is the... I think... This way is... Okay, we're going this way. Right? This way? If there's one thing in this game that is both novel and not appreciated, it's the fact that it's very difficult to tell what you can walk on. You'll be constantly slipping off ledges, like, all the time. Because you want to see, like, what's over the edge, and then you just fucking fall off. Okay. I think I want to take this, this rope right here. Is that a health pickup? That is a health pickup! Ooh, can't believe I missed that. I'm getting old. Damn, Vaush forgot to adjust the bitrate settings in OBS. Compression makes this look like good. It's 6K bitrate. What do you want from me? Here? Right here, right? There. Okay. Take me on a goddamn journey. Wait, where the... Not go uphill. What? Is that not the right... Okay, the right way is down this way. We just gotta follow one of several paths. And gives you a bunch of ways to head anywhere. Well, I gotta say, it feels like the stream is stable. So, you know. Have I gotten a single dono all stream? Oh wait, shit, this place is locking. I don't even know if TTS is on. That feel when I'm semi-deplatformed from YouTube for totally BS reasons, and my community can't even come together and give me a stipend so that if I get kicked off YouTube forever, I at least don't have to fucking work McDonald's. Come to me, your God King. Give me riches, so even after I'm done producing content, I can just sit on my fat ass all day. Why are you not racing to give me your hard-earned money from the jobs, the real jobs you guys actually have, for me doing nothing? So if this works, will Subnautica work? The issue wasn't the game Subnautica. The issue was my memory. It was the RAM. I'm pretty sure, because I was getting blue screens of death that referred to memory management, which is RAM, and I was getting some issues when I wasn't streaming as well. So it wasn't my computer wasn't having any issues with Subnautica. It was there's something when the RAM was accessed. And the first time that I got a blue screen of death while streaming, it was like 2 minutes after I started streaming the first time, before I even went, like, turned my mic and cam on. So, streaming does use RAM. It does use that. So I think the fact that I've streamed for 53 minutes now with not even a hint of an issue is a positive sign. Dr. Boopster, thank you for the $5. This for the dumpy? Hell yeah. I've got a pretty fat dumpy these days myself. Been going on a lot of walks, feeling a lot healthier. Haven't been eating so much lately. Partly out of stress. Well, thank you, Timothy Raven. This is the lowest effort stream you could just do and you expect money. Yeah, wait, if one more $5 dono comes in, then for doing something I would have done anyway, I will get the Seattle minimum wage for doing it, because that'd be $15 for an hour of stream, right? Which is the minimum wage. called economics. Oh, the stone. Okay. Hey, find my shit. What a strange note sheet. We could collect some money for a little performance. Meet us tonight. What do you mean meet us tonight? Oh. It'll just... Oh. Okay. This game really just has no concern at all for my... Okay. This game gives me Majora's Mask vibes in more ways than one. Canoe pointed that out first. Is the priest here? Because the priest is the one that we're supposed to be revealing. We use the song to... Man, these people. This one is a prophet, and they're kind of hot. I don't know. I like dark eyes. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. So... Whoa! Whoa! Hi! Looking at chat. Can I help you, priest? How are we doing? I'm only watching over my flock. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, they haven't played the song yet. Okay, you're gonna get fucking mad in a sec. Can I pull out my weapons? Can I pull out my weapons? I can't. Is he just no-clipping? Holy shit, fucking rave. Oh my god. How are they getting these noises with medieval instruments? Escape music. Hey, give me my fucking weapons. What? Invisible wall? Okay. That motherfucker's gonna come like sprinting back as a demon. Still can't draw my weapons. Okay, you see what I mean about, like, expectations? Because of how this game is, I have no fucking idea what's going to happen. You know? Like in any other game where there is a scene where you use magic to reveal a traitor or something, I'd be like, okay, well, here's the here's how it plays out. Like, eventually they'll give signs, and then, like, you'll get the indication to attack. I have no idea. I can't pull my weapons out. Do I just let him... Is he gonna talk? Do I fight? We're fighting? Oh. That's fine. Thank you. Well, I needed that. Oh. I thought I'd have to kill him, you know, but, it's fine. It's cool by me. Okay, so I have 2 leads that I can follow right now. Go to the mountains. Okay, no, I think it's actually 1 lead. They both go the same way. Okay, I have to find the frog statue, which is over here. hey. Oh, fucking... Oh, shit. I forgot. Trying to pull me into the water. Wait, is this the right place, even? Yeah, in Knockpond. With the witch statue. Oh, I think I have to use the rope. Yeah, okay. I forgot. Uterus weapon where? It's a sling. It does look like a uterus, though. That's true. It looks like, you know, the uterus tattoo that succubi and very horny women get tattooed on their like lower abdomen. I would consider it hot, but it's like a breeding thing, right? I don't want to. Oh boy. Yeah. Well. It's like a breeding thing. I know other guys all like fantasize about drilling some chick and then they're like, I'm gonna come, and then she puts both of her legs around them so that they come in her, and it's like, oh god, you've fertilized me. I do not fantasize about this. This is not a fantasy that I have. I do not have an impreg king, not even remotely. The process of impregnation is 100% like a practical, like you are forming a child thing. There's absolutely no erotic connotations to me. The sex parts, you know, that's erotic. That's fine. Yeah. I feel like that succubus tattoo would be like, maybe I'd find it cuter on like a trans chick, because it wouldn't have the. Well, I mean, trans chicks constantly talk about being bred anyway, but it's more, you know, euphemistic. Chaser moment, defeals. You're fucking... What if they actually did have a deal with the devil and the mark was actually there, gave them a wound? Well, that would be hot then, just for like the deal with the devil part, right? Like that would then circle around to being hot again, just because it would be like impressive, you know? Hi. Okay. Wood being crushed. What is that? What path is open? This is supposed to open a path to the mountains. I just don't know. Periods are trash. Yeah, they seem to suck. The only time I've ever heard people speak positively of periods is when it's like transphobic women who are like, yeah, I actually love this blessing of womanhood. It validates me and gives me power, you know? I've never, ever, 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 ever heard women talk positively about periods, except for them when they're pretending to like epically own trans women or something. It's a bait, okay? Have you ever seen in the cartoons where, like, there's like two people walking together and person A really hates person B, and person A, like, trips and falls and lands face first into some dog shit, and person B is like, are you okay? And then person A is like, yeah, it's actually delicious, and like licks the dog shit. Like, oh, bet you wish you were down here. And their like face is bleeding because it hit the concrete, you know? That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing with the periods. It's like, oh yeah, trans woman, I bet you wish you had this bountiful fertility that God has blessed me with to give children unto the earth. And they're like crying and throwing up every month from the cramps. Yeah, it's probably not good. It's stupid. I hate these fucking dragonfly things, dude. They're quite hard to hit. Do drive-bys. Let me go. Oh my god, that was like all my health. Let me. What? Oh my god. They pull away like that. See, they can pull out. Sheesh. Did you see the trans lady playing the keyboard on TV? Oh, there was like the trans lady who got naked and slapped her dick against the keyboard or whatever. I saw it on Twitter. I mean, I thought it was funny. I don't know anything about her or like any. I don't know anything about the whole deal. I'm sure the broader point was like a normalization of trans women's bodies, which I support. And you know, epically owning the transphobes. I'm sure transphobes are having a fit over it. You know. Yeah, Australian lassie. Kind of dour here. Oh, hi, Skipper. I thought your manifesto was lovely from the image that I saw and very briefly skimmed because I knew that my name would be on it because whenever a group of content creators in this space are listed facetiously, I'm always on there in some fashion. So. Hello. The wind and water are dissolving the ground. Deep, rotten pools are eating away its own bottom. The rock is decaying. No wonder the witches like it here. Speaking of, one of them is waiting in the maze pond. You need 3 torment screws to unbar the way. Guard your blood, for the forest is infested with things wanting to drink it. Okay. That's cool. Kinda low on health, but alright. Anyway, I'm not like an expert. I'm not an expert on the history of like TV nudity or whatever, but I know there have been prominent examples of people with penises getting naked on TV as part of some statement or shock act or whatever. And I know that when those things have happened, they have not been used as supporting evidence for a genocide against a minority group. So we shouldn't do that this time either, you know? Whatever qualms you have with that business, you know, the other times we managed to, you know, discuss our disagreements without instigating a genocide against a minority group. You know, maybe we can keep that energy moving forward. No! I feel like I've more than sufficiently demonstrated the stability of the computer. I know that couples should have 2 separate beds. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I think it is considered that it can actually be better to have like 1 bed per person, at least sometimes, as a backup, right? Because even if you're a couple and you love sleeping next to each other, like sometimes you just want to sleep on your own. I don't think that's like indicative of a bad relationship. Hey, Australian lassie, thank you so much for the $10. No, it seems that PTS is not working at the moment. I'll have to fiddle around with the settings. It's just being a bit finicky. Yeah, sometimes you just want to sleep on your own, or maybe you have like the sniffles and you're keeping your partner up, you know, or maybe Dark Souls. Or maybe it's really warm, and it's just uncomfortable to sleep next to a person because of the shared body heat. One way down to the library. Well, what if I want to go up? The secret to a happy marriage is separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms. I don't know if I'd want a separate bedroom. I just think it's good to have, like, another bed, potentially, you can call upon. I don't know about separate bathrooms, either. I mean, you should probably have 2 bathrooms. Like, ideally, of course. You know, rents are expensive. But ideally, you'd want 2 bathrooms anyway, in case one person's shitting and the other person needs to use the restroom. No, Posada-shan. Those strikes were absolute bullshit. Unless everyone can have a giant house seems infeasible. Yeah, no, I know. Like I said, it's you know, it's kind of limited by available rent and everything. But if possible, you know, I think it's good to have 2 beds, 2 bathrooms, you know, to a place, even if you're just one couple. I had to sleep in my same bed with my sister for a long time, and then we had 2 bedrooms. My parents slept in the other one. You know, I've seen some comics and situations like that. I don't know if that's anything like it in real life, but... Toilets and bath/showers in the same area always seem gross. What's gross about having a shower in the same room as your toilet, right? It's just the bathrooms, you know, it seems logical to have those. I wouldn't want to shit and then have to, like, put clothes on, then walk to another room, like, through a hallway, and then go into the room with the shower, and then shower, right? That seems like kind of a pain. Huh? Oh, that's an enemy. But... Hey, okay, yep, okay. Oh, yeah, just whatever, whenever you're done with the animation. Are you ever done? Oh, okay, you can aim directly down. And it lived. What the fuck? Oh. Oh! It produces spawn. That's really cool, actually. Alright, motherfuckers. Come on. This is actually a pure FPS. There are no melee weapons at all. You have axes and swords, but you throw them. My stepsister keeps claiming she gets stuck under the bed in the washing machine. She just sits there. She's not stuck at all. What's up with that? I have no idea. She might have, like, kind of a deer in the headlights syndrome thing, or she might have it's kind of like a lower back injury, or like sort of selective neural paralysis that might make it feel like she's stuck when she's actually not. You know? Could be very physically weak. Seems bad though. I should probably get her to the hospital or something. It might be something serious. Okay, we're just keeping an eye out for those lads. Oh my fucking... Oh god, we're fucked. We have 7 health. Man, fuck you. Where'd you even come from? Australian Lassie, thank you for the $10. Get it, Australian Lassie, because Irish Light. I did get it, actually. I just didn't know if it was a deliberate reference. With the joke about the horse, BoJack Horseman joke? Yes. Nobody understands the horse thing. It's my greatest pain. Okay, we're at 7 health. We might just be boned here. Okay, we're keeping an eye out for any blood-sucking parasites. So keep an eye out for any lawyers. Oh, gotcha, bitch. Got him. I don't actually like lawyer jokes on the left that much because historically some of the most effective left activists have actually been lawyers. You know, it turns out if if you're a part of a political group, it's actually really useful to have people who are familiar with the law around. I mean, the book, The Assassination of Frederick Hampton, was written by the white lawyer for the Black Panther Party, right? Like he was a leftist and a sympathetic racial activist, who was a lawyer who helped the Black Panther Party through a bunch of jams. You know, if they hadn't had him, I imagine they would have been pretty screwed a great many times. It's useful to have a lawyer. I feel like some of the general distaste for furries comes from them, almost all of them being the same animal, and becomes very archetypical. Yeah, I will admit, how do I phrase this delicately? Okay, I've got this. Why are so many furries so fucking boring? Okay? We're not talking about creating art OCs here. Like, a fursona, if it's meant to represent you, like, that's meant to be you. There's a lot of lacking imagination in a lot of designs. That's very strange to me. Like, it's meant to be you. You get the chance to create you, not even limited by the human species. But a lot of people just draw kind of like, just like dog, wolf, fox, cat. Okay. There's variance. I'm not saying there's not, but there sure are recurring patterns. There are a couple of furry artists that I actually really like because they draw... I don't know how to put it other than like... Oh, that one nearly got me. I don't know how to put it other than like when they draw a fursona, I feel like I'm looking at like a god in a pantheon, like an Egyptian pantheon. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't just look like dog template, wolf template, cat template, or whatever with different colors or fur patterns. It looks like a very, very distinct entity. Name drop them. Unfortunately, the one I like the most, I don't remember the name of, but Vermin probably would. Vermin's back from vacation sometime soon. That's nice. Okay, I'm quite nervous about getting sort of drop beared here. Adams looks nice. I mean, it looks like him. I like Adams a lot. First of all, of course, it's, I have a personal bias towards his choice in animal. And second of all, Adams looks like Adam. Yeah, which goes a long way. I like that quite a lot. It's not easy making a fursona that actually looks like him. One of my ex-girlfriends was a very talented artist and a furry. I wooed her, at first by drawing smut with rats because hers was a rat sona. She had very low self-esteem, unfortunately. I hope she's feeling better about all that. But and it was like a rat with a big dick, that sort of thing. And while we were together, she would draw me as a big goofy dog. I think I have that drawing still somewhere in my computer. Probably shouldn't. I don't know if I've shown it before. If I have, I don't know. There's probably nothing wrong with it. Wonder how they would feel. Ooh, I saw you. With it being shown. This area is kind of spooky. Like, hiding in the trees. See, I feel like in a more conventional game, all these enemies would be placed in ways where it's way more obvious where they are. Or, like, they would have, like, a highlight reticule around them. Oh, God. Well, speaking of, that's it. It's dead. See? Good thing I just saved. I kind of like that it's making me, like, paranoid. Australian Lassie, I totally recommend this game. It's called Northern Journey. It's worth the $12. It's long. It's a it's a lengthy game. It's a lot of fun, and it's very atmospheric, as you can see. Again, made by one person, which is really incredible. Gotcha. Gotcha. There's something dropped on me here. The power of the auteur. Yeah, a lot of wacky ideas that would probably get sort of sanded away in a project that was worked on by multiple people. With only one person, nobody's around to tell them that their ideas are shit. So you actually get like the raw, distilled form of their ideas, which I like a lot. He's now working on a new game? Fuck. No. That's awesome. Oh yeah, sorry, Australian Lassie. Everything's more expensive over there. Oh, I have shown that before, Crossgrass and Creed? Okay. The guy from Stardew Valley is working on a new game, that is? Oh, wait, from Stardew Valley. Okay, this guy did not make Stardew Valley. We're talking different people here. Okay. Let me try to draw it out by like... Oh, from the side! Where the hell were you hiding? Okay. I've never played Stardew Valley. It's not my type of game. As you remember, my last game project was me trying to make like a more active, structured, like farming simulator. But I've given up on that for now. I'm enjoying the current thing I'm working on way too much. Like, it's a lot of fun. I get that, Inkleblue. I know that to a lot of people, furry, like, the furry thing isn't just, like, sexual, but for me, like, any, you know, I just jerk at furry porn, so. If ever I had a fursona, it would just be like, okay, yeah, I'm, like, 8 feet tall, I'm super strong, and I have giant fucking dick. And, you know, it's what like, that's it. Interest in this is very shallow to the extent that it is. I don't really have a fursona. People can draw me however they want. People draw me as horse, centaur, dog. Good night, Certainty. You would be a horse? Well, I don't find... Let it be known, I think many would agree with me, that whatever you may think about their proportions, horses themselves are very silly-looking animals. You know, I don't have, you know, any interest in having the face of a horse, for example. One of the reasons why I quite like Adam's fursona is that, you know, a lot of people don't do horse fursonas because they look goofy. But I think Adam's looks quite nice, you know, and I admire the confidence of the choice. True, Skipper. Give me more money. Being a hairy guy is like the closest you can get to an IRL furry before bestiality. Oh, yeah, there's bad dragon dildos, I guess. Oh, 2D Siggy, I know it exists. I just, it's sort of disproportionately underrepresented, I think, compared to the other ways in which horses tend to be represented in furry media. Well, Skipper, if I start giving those out for cash, I'll have lost my my credibility. I should probably refollow you anyway. The horse drawing of your PFB looks really, really cool. Yeah, I think it's quite nice. Another reason that I like Adam's persona so much is that, like, a horse is a very difficult animal to make look like a person, you know? Like, it's a horse, you know? if you have something like a dog or a cat, these are animals that we've personified and live around enough that it's pretty easy to sort of ascribe human characteristics to them, but not so much for a horse. So it's pretty difficult to make someone recognizable. I think we've sufficiently demonstrated. Why, yo! Asshole. See, now it's going to... Alright. Sling it is. Got one. Oh, another thing that I... Oh, God. Another thing that I really like about this sling is that it doesn't actually... First, the damage ramps up the longer you sling it, for one, which is nice. And secondly, it only actually lets you throw it at the right time to throw it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just hit the button and it instantly shoots forward. You know, you can only actually let it go at the right point in its spin. Pigeon! Australian Lassie, thank you so much for the gifted tier 1 sub. Very kind of you to poor Skipper. Man, slings are no joke. No, slings are actually an incredibly dangerous weapon. You know? Very, very, very dangerous. If with a well-trained, I don't know if it'd be called a slinger or a slingman, but a well-trained user of that weapon, you know, with a properly sized rock, you know, thrown the right way, it'll hit you with like near the force of a bullet. In terms of the kinetic energy, not with the penetrative ability of a bullet, of course, because the stone is larger than the bullet is, you know, so it's not like pointy enough to go right in. But they are remarkably dangerous, you know. It's kind of like that David and Goliath thing. Yeah, exactly. Like, people talk about David and Goliath, like you have the tiny dude with the sling against the giant guy or whatever. But, like, the tiny dude with the sling had, like, a gun. Yeah, like, the tiny dude with the sling, David, had a sling. That's not a small advantage. Pigeon! Shush. What do you want, water? Okay, I think we finally cleared this upper area. Anyway, yeah. Slings are very dangerous weapons. Another benefit of the sling, of course, and, you know, this is like a purely economical thing, but another benefit of the sling is that, literally, like, anyone can make it, and ammunition is free. Whereas bows, you know, bows have to be crafted quite, you know, deliberately. Every arrow... Arrows were vital and difficult to craft. You know, the fletching, getting it the proper proportions. You know, you would try to save arrows as much as you could. You would recollect them from battlefields or from targets, but with a sling, you are throwing rocks. They are everywhere, and even if you want more back, they are just there wherever you threw them. You know, they're not damaged. It's a rock. Obviously, bows are more deadly, have longer range, and are generally more accurate. So that's an advantage. You know, if you can kit out an army entirely with bows and arrows, that is preferable to them all having slings. But it is, you know, still, valuable. I think I go down. Okay. Use the sling for a bit. Oh. Oh god. Oh no. Oh god. I got caught in a rock. Alright. Alright. I don't know. Is the point of the David and Goliath story that the slings are super good? I mean, depending on the telling of the story, it can have a lot of different meanings. I don't know what the original biblical story was exactly. I'm just saying that slings are very, very powerful. Oh, Skipper, I don't know. That really depends on, like, what types of games you like. There are casual games that are sort of, you know, I might like, say my mom might enjoy. That's not an insult, just, you know, more casual games. And there are games that I think are excellent for everyone, but they require an interest in the genre. It's hard to say. Archery seems like a cool thing to learn. I'm not strong enough to pull back that way. Okay, wait, hold on. I actually took archery lessons for a while. Pigeon, you can't sit there. I sit there. You know that. Pippy01, you're completely correct. It was RAM settings in the BIOS. I took archery lessons for a little while. There's a story of a Chinese general that built a bunch of dummies while being besieged and used those dummies to collect arrows. I don't know if that's true, of course, but if that is true, that's quite smart, right? Because, you know, from the distances that battles tend to be fought, the enemy would just be, like, pelting these silhouettes up on the wall with arrows, and it'd be like, oh yeah, pull it down, you know? Wow, 50 free arrows that are just sort of completely intact, having been embedded in this, like, soft hay dummy covered with fabric that I've used or something. That's quite nice. Recurve bows? The bows that I used for archery were recurve bows. Where'd that last spider go? Where'd it go? Just saving in 2 slots. Woo. Ooh, woo. Ooh. Also, would you know how good javelins usually were? Well, yeah, javelins were useful. Javelins were most useful with a kind of not a sling. Is it a sling? Basically, the javelins were at their height. The Aztecs used this. It was basically like I guess you could think of it like a ladle, like sort of a long stick with a little cup at the end, and in the cup you would put the base of the javelin, and you would grab the handle of the ladle, and atladle? Gotcha, atladle. Well, you can imagine a ladle. Even kind of sounds like one. Basically, you would use a lever to put additional force into the oh boy, oh, into the throwing the javelin, and apparently, when done properly, this was incredibly effective. With an effective range, I think of like 150 feet, 100 to 150 feet, which is, you know, a decent like short range weapon. And it could be thrown launched with force enough to sometimes fully penetrate an unarmed man or unarmored man with the javelin. Like you could full on run directly through them. How good would it be against armor? Oh, a direct hit from one of those was just physically devastating. I mean, I'm pretty sure that those things were capable of piercing the plate armor of some of the conquistadors. when the Aztecs fought them. It's the physical force of like because javelins. The thing that goes for javelins is that javelins are heavy. You know, like an arrow isn't heavy. It's like what, 2 ounces or something. A stone from a sling might be a bit heavier, but a javelin can be multiple pounds with a you know a tapered point with a pointed end. So if you get that going at a good velocity, you know that is sufficient to just destroy whatever it hits. So goddamn spider. Ooh, nice try. Fucking. Weren't javelins also useful because they made shields cumbersome to use if they got lodged? Yeah, that's another benefit, right? Even if you, yeah, because it would embed itself in a shield, and then you have like an additional like 4 or 5 pounds hanging off your shield, sort of sticking out like 3 feet from the end of your shield. So now your shield is just like got this stupid, unremovable lever like poking out of it, you know? Yeah. A lot of interesting stuff there. Of course, nowadays we have guns, you know, which are a little bit more effective. A little bit. Huh? Nice Wumpy Jumps. I can't look at any links right now. I don't even have the page open properly. But I'm not surprised to hear that. Lances probably had more force than javelins. And so yeah, but you don't throw lances, right? Like a lance is like a 8-foot long horse spear. You know, you wouldn't. Not really. Ah! I got cocky. I moved 2 feet forward instead of 1 foot forward. How dare I? Alright, yep. Take 30 of my health and produce 50 enemies. Do it. Oh, this game also taught me something I like, or something that I'm glad that I learned about game design. As much as I like Fallout New Vegas, I do not like Bethesda RPGs. And one of the reasons why is quick saving. I don't like quick saving generally. I think that's really lazy to pace your difficulty around the ability to just quick save, quick load whatever you want. I think that's like really dumb. Especially since it makes some harder fights not trivial, but like boring and tedious, because it's like the enemies will like one-shot kill you. So basically just like quick save, quick load your entire way through a 30-second interaction. Make it take 20 minutes as you like optimize every bit. You know, like, if you run into a room, kill 6 dudes, and it takes 12 ammo, then fuck it, why not reload, do it, make it take 7 ammo, you know? Fucking, I don't like stuff like that. This game does it a bit better, because you cannot quick save in combat. You can only quick save out of combat. It's such a simple difference, but it makes such a... It makes such a huge difference, because it means that, you know, once you're in the combat encounter, you have to stick it through. You know, even if you want to start back over at the beginning and be perfectionist about it, at the very least you can't do that mid-combat. And that's an improvement. You know? It hadn't even occurred to me that might be a viable way of fixing an element of the design that I dislike. Could you quick save during combat? Yes. I remember playing Fallout New Vegas on the hardest difficulty was not that hard, with the exception of the fucking Legion hit squads that would get sent for you, which were poorly balanced. Like, they would, like, you would proceed sort of normally through the game, and I'm a completionist too, so I would always try to get, you know, every bit of EXP, every bit of money. I would always try to have the best gear at a time. And then once you get far enough into pissing off the Legion, they send the goddamn hit squads after you, and it's just like, They just show up and fucking wreck your shit. I have memories of seeing them on the horizon running towards me, and I was like, oh wow, I will instantly die. And then I would spend like I would like fast travel away, but they would always catch up like eventually, you know, and they would just. You'd better hope that when you fight them, like you're at a goddamn NCR base or something. Okay, I feel like we've killed more spiders than exist on Earth. What game is this? Northern Journey. I'm gonna end stream soon, by the way. I didn't expect this to go an hour 40. I was just testing stream stability. I'm only talking right now because it turns out I actually quite like streaming, and I've missed streaming during this little break. You know, I think it's pretty clear this is running stably. So tomorrow I should be able to play Subnautica. You guys remember, after I remembered to open OBS in admin mode, Subnautica ran perfectly well. So, so I think we'll be fine. Don't you need to test with an intensive game? No, because I was having issues just streaming. 'Cause streaming on its own is somewhat intensive to a computer. And the first time I got a blue screen of death yesterday, it happened as soon as I started stream, before I even turned my camera mic on, before I even started Subnautica. So, being able to stream for an hour 40, that's good. Steady Bozo, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the pleasure is entirely mine. I know what it feels like to be sort of depressive and to get a lot of meaning and happiness out of a particular content creator. I've had that happen to me before. You know, I'm very happy to be able to provide that to other people. In my case, the last time it happened, you know, because I haven't really been depressive for a couple of years. The last time it happened, you won't guess who it was. It was fucking Muso. Back when Overwatch 1 had come out recently. And Muso wasn't just like a clickbait Fortnite streamer. He actually made some quite nice Overwatch videos that I really, really enjoyed. They just sort of passed the time, you know, which is sometimes all you need when you're feeling depressive. You just need something to occupy your mind for a little while until you're feeling better. Hope you're doing well today. I'm doing well today. Hope you're doing well today. Okay, did we finally make it through fucking Spider Garden? Holy shit. Is White Nervosa here? Watching? If White is watching, then hopefully they recognize this. You know, seems to be a success. Thank you, White. Yeah, Blagovia. I haven't seen stuff from Stir in a while. Speaking of depressive, I really liked Stir's TF2 content, but the last time I saw some of their videos, they seemed very depressive. I would never fault a guy for, I would never blame a guy for being depressive, like, oh, why aren't you more entertaining, you know, but it is unfortunate. Australian Lassie, you're being remarkably generous for somebody who bemoaned the price of Northern Journey in your Aussie dollars. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted tier 1 subs. I really appreciate that. Thank you for repeatedly reassuring me that touching grass would make things better. Getting a job helped too, Lamau. Yes. Yeah, yeah. You know, as exploitative as work culture can be, having something to do and something to get up and, like, wake up to, sometimes that can genuinely be. No. What the fuck? Yes, also having money is useful. Stir's doing some D&D inspired campaign or something. Oh, that's nice. I should check out Stir's channel again. I like Stir a lot. Before Jerma became, like, the massive content creator that he is now, entertainer, you know, Jerma and Star would do, like, TF2 stuff together, and I think Star was the bigger, or Stir. I think Stir was the bigger of the two. I think at the time Germa was smaller. There's this voice clip that's always lived in my fucking head, which is like, they're just doing like TF2 matches against each other. And it was something like, Germa versus Star, Germa versus Star. Everybody wants to see this happen. And it was just a bunch of wacky stuff like that, you know. Rox Newman, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Yes, sorry. Well, I haven't done many game streams in general lately. I think we're going to have much more time for game streams after the primaries are done. Stir, G Squidman, S-T-E-R, like star but with an E. Oh. It's a extremely precarious movement system. This is not a reliable transportation oh yeah, I can also tell like the kinds of autism that this developer had, right? This guy has something about, there's something about mechanisms that really gets this developer going. There are a bunch of uniquely coded and crafted movement mechanisms. Oh fuck. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm so smart. I'm so, oh my god, I'm just so good at games, you know? You know, don't get jealous watching me. You know, not everyone can be... Wait, how do I get up there? I would have dropped down from there, right? Is there anything up there? Like, what was I saying? What was I saying? It wasn't about Stir, was it? Oh, right. There are a bunch of different movement mechanisms in this game, you know, get from point A to point B, and all of them are unique. There are no repeated ones. And they all weirdly have, like, specific animations. Also, like, look, with the swing, you put the stone in, you swing it, and when you stop swinging before throwing, you actually catch it. Isn't that interesting? Like, think about that. I've played AAA games that have not had anywhere near this level of detail put into something like this. You know what I mean? And this game was made by one person, and it's such a weird, unpolished game. But they did that. Look at this, look at this rotating crossbow. Look at this. There's like this gear. See, look, it's... You can see, like, look at that. You see? It's a thing. There's the spring in the groove of the wooden body, and then when you pull... When you pull the two, you know, crank gear in the center, it pulls back the it pulls back the gear track against the spring, which you know, which pulls back the string and pulls forward the bolt, and then eventually it snaps forward and does the same thing again. But it's like that's actually like a they modeled the mechanics. They didn't have to do that for a game like this. Look, this is the bear crossbow, which is just like a big... And look, they have the fucking crossbow loader. This is an actual thing that they would use back in the Middle Ages, because they kept making stronger and stronger crossbows to the point where now it's like, okay, you have to be like a fucking champion weightlifter to be able to operate these things. So they have these like tools. You would sort of brace the you just saw how it worked, you know. The point I'm making here is just it's just like they clearly have an interest in the mechanics of this stuff, and I love that. I love getting the peek into that, you know. You know that if this was like a much more polished AAA project and they had limited time and so on and so forth, like if they were like, yeah, I want to spend like a couple days of dev and artist time like getting a really cool, accurate, mechanically interesting sling and crossbow animation and modeling together, they'd be like, we don't have time for that shit. But this guy did, because he's fucking autism. He's got autism. Oh, hey. Oh, shit. Whoa! Oh my god. A dub can this drummer. It's kind of nice not having the cam on. Obviously, you have to when you're doing streaming properly because it massively increases viewer engagement, donations, sympathy, blah, 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 blah. But it is kind of nice to... Oh, my God. Oh, you know what time it is, lads? Rip and tear. That is a lot of spiders. Dope. Oh, and another bizarre adherence to realism, you can't actually reload these crossbows mid-clip. It's just clip by clip. Isn't that interesting? If you have like one or two... If you have like one or two left in the clip, it's like you have to fire those. Does your character have a third arm? Don't worry about it. How many... Pigeon. Pigeon, why are you so scrunkly? Who made you like this? Who made you so scrunkly? Oh! I keep looking at chat. Forgetting these things have an insane aggro radius. And there seems to be an infinite number of them? Is there actually an infinite number of them? Wait, I'm starting to get concerned. Because I'm now out of rotating crossbow bolts. Australian lassie, you're being entirely too kind to me, friend.
How much for you to stream another hour?
Sake Tanuki can't save us now. Wait, that was TTS! Why did that work? Okay, I'm gonna need to go through the Streamlabs settings. Thank you very much. Seriously, I really appreciate that. You'll honor me with your kindness. What kind of games do you usually go for? Well, I realized a while ago that I had a lot less fun playing games that never ended. I like feeling as though a game has a satisfying conclusion. That can be in the form of getting 100% achievements for some types of games, if I really like them. But most of the time, it's just about beating the game at the highest difficulty, or at least at the highest difficulty that I enjoy. There are some games that have high difficulties that I either could not beat or would need so much time and effort to beat. You know, like I'd have to train and learn. And, you know, if I really like the game, I might go for it. But for the most part, not really. But yeah, I have played League. I played it for years. But I noticed that I found gaming to be way more of a chore when I played games like that. I like games that you know, have a conclusion that I feel satisfied about, rather than a game that you just play. See, that's TTS. Why is that working now? My pleasure, Soaked Unsoft. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. At the end of the day, there are two ways to stop playing a game. Either you finish it or you get tired of playing it. And I've just noticed that I have a much better experience when I stop playing a game because I've finished it than because I've lost interest in it. Does that make any sense? I like playing single-player games, because multiplayer games are almost invariably more the latter. You know, games that you play until you don't, rather than games that you finish. And I like games that give me unique or interesting experiences, you know? Which I'm definitely having here. I want to learn more from games. Like, so for example, I have not played a Call of Duty game since Call of Duty 4. I liked Call of Duty 4's campaign a lot. The first Modern Warfare, it was great. And then more came out, and I saw, you know, E3 trailers and gameplay, and I saw, and there's like, okay, these are basically like the same game, you know? So I didn't really want to play them, and I just haven't. Yeah, I've heard the new COD campaign isn't bad. Very nervous about spiders. So I want to have an interesting experience, and I want to have a... Oh my god. I want to have a game that I feel like I can actually finish. Let me think. What else? Well, there are some types of games that I enjoy others. I don't like shoot-em-ups that much. You know, like Gladius or whatever. I've just never enjoyed those that much. I don't like Gears of War style games. Games that have like third-person shooting and cover mechanics. It's one of the reasons I haven't ever played the Uncharted series. Though I guess I did like the first of the Tomb Raider reboots. I don't know. Maybe I could be moved over on that. I have to think. The only game that I play that doesn't really have an ending that I enjoy would be Total War Warhammer. You know, 2 or 3, whatever. And that game actually it frustrates me in a number of ways, because there are some parts of that game that I really, really love, and there are some parts that really frustrate me. You know, because those games can get so tedious. So tedious. Yeah, I've never played the Mass Effect game. And also, they don't really have an end. You can treat every campaign like an end to that race. Oh, another thing that bothers me is that I can't play those games in the hardest setting. I usually get a feeling of accomplishment out of beating a game on the hardest difficulty, but I do not like playing those on Legendary. I find it very frustrating. So I play on very hard, very hard. Yeah, one of the problems is the balancing. On Legendary, melee is like you just can't do melee because the enemy has these massive leadership and combat bonuses. You like have to cheese them from ranged. There's a YouTuber called Legend of Total War, whose stuff I've seen, you know, a few times. And he has this thing, like a segment called Saving a Disaster Battle, where somebody sends in a save file of them facing down a battle that just looks impossible to win. And a couple of them I really, really enjoyed. There's this one I remember where it was like 50 million fucking orcs. This is one of his top videos ever. Against like a few dwarven cities. And my man held. And he held by playing like perfectly. The dwarves are difficult to cheese with because the dwarves are the only race in Warhammer that don't have magic. Well, they kind of do now, but at the time they didn't. Meaning that they didn't have access to some of the easier ways of, like, tipping the scales in your favor. The dwarves just have fucking crunchy-ass thick units, you know? And my man, it must have been, like, in total, in the numbers, it must have been like 800 dwarves against 6,000 or 7,000 orcs, spread out across 2 battles. It was insane. Don't hit me. That's gonna... It was, it was an incredible video. It was like 2 hours of him, like, perfectly managing all of these units. Like, okay, well, you want to place them right here so the arrows can reach over that building, but you want to focus fire on these and stuff. And I really like that feeling, like facing down overwhelming odds and managing to win anyway. Australian lassie, my goodness.
To be fair, you have to have a very low IQ.
To be fair, you have to have a very low IQ to donate this much. The payoff is extremely
and
subtle without a solid grasp of post-ironic metahumor most of the... True! You're going to blanket all of offline chat with orange names, Australian lassie. My goodness. Thank you so much. Why not fire up Total War then? Best stability test, lol. You know what? Sure. Why not?